According to Psychology Today, they did some study and they said these are the top 6 deal breakers that have come up in studies. I'm curious what you think. The top 6 were hygiene or lack of hygiene,
Yeah.
addiction, any kind of addiction, drugs, alcohol, gambling, any of that, clinginess,
Mhm.
promiscuity, so
Mhm.
too many sexual partners,
Mhm.
apathy, however people describe it or say it, and then lack of motivation or ambition. Does that feel like legit?
Yeah, I would say those are kind of like the most common ones. Apathy, I don't really think is like a super. I think actually girls kind of can like an apathetic man,
Hmm.
uh, but could be wrong. This is just me speaking without a filter.
No,
Um,
you should always speak without filter here.
right.
Apathy, it's true. Like, I wouldn't be attracted to that, but one of
But
the most
if a man is
recurring,
coddling you and like clingy, apathetic, being if you're apathetic, you're kind of like the opposite of being clingy. It
yes.
just means you're just like a lack of interest, which like you show a little bit of interest, but generally speaking, like I don't think that you should be like totally enamored with them and like infatuated all of the time. So it is important to have like a little bit of apathy,
Yeah.
be a little apathetic, but not like fully, you're just not interested whatsoever.
Yeah, and it's also dependent on how you perceive that word, right? Because to me, apathetic isn't necessarily about them in the relationship. It's like them with the world and people around them. So when we've asked the question about what's your deal breaker on the show, you'd be surprised. The most common response for women is they're rude to waiters or rude to servers, which shows a type of arrogance. And in a sense, like there's a lack of apathy for somebody else's feelings. They just don't
Mhm.
give a shit about anybody else. And I think that is an unattractive quality to a lot of females. Hygiene, of course. I mean, there's just like some level of like, I could never, but I don't care about promiscuity. I wouldn't give a shit if somebody had like 100, 200 sex partners. I'd be like, whatever, man, as long as you don't have an STD and
I think
you're
guys care
fine.
more
I
about that
don't
than
care.
girls do.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. And I'm not saying that I care a bunch about it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily about like, for lack of a better word, like girls could think that the guy thinks if she's had a lot of partners that it means like she's like used up. I don't think that's the case. I that is not the way that my brain thinks. And I also don't think that that's how most guys think as far as like a lot of sexual partners. I see everything as indicators. So it's like, why do you have a lot of partners? Was there something that happened to you? Like, and those deeply rooted things that could be causing them to have a lot of sexual partners as they get older, those for me would be deal breakers, not having a lot of partners in and of itself.
That's fair. I will say, as somebody who has had a lot of partners,
Mhm.
nobody ever gave a shit. Every guy I ever dated wanted to get married to me. Like,
If you had
literally.
a lot of partners simply because you have a high libido, like I think that's different than like
Yeah.
having a lot of partners because when you were like younger, you didn't feel like I don't know, you like suffered in
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
capacity and it was like this thing that carried on with you for your entire life and you're always trying to fill this void from being like a victim of in some capacity of
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
when you were
Yeah.
younger. Like that for me, that could be a harder thing to look past
Yeah. That's fair.
than just a high libido. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cause we've had this conversation a bunch. We had another dating coach come on, a male dating coach, and he felt that women shouldn't have sex until until they become a girlfriend of a guy because he's going to judge her. And I actually posted about this on social and I asked because I have a very heavy male following on my socials. So I was like, what do you guys actually think? Like, is this true or not? And I don't know if they were lying. I did it on Twitter and Instagram, but the high response was, we don't care. And I do think, again, there's this like, I do think age matters. I think when guys are younger, you think that a lot of these things are a reflection and then as you get older, you start realizing, man, women are the same as men. Sometimes we go on a date and we think a guy's hot and we just want to fuck. Like there's no like big, deep rooted issue about it. It's just I think you're hot and I
But there
want to
but there can be, you know?
Yeah, yeah, there
In the
can be,
same
and
way that
that's a different thing.
I see everything as indicators. Like, for example, addiction, like, if I see someone in there, like, hitting a vape, and they're hitting a vape all the way throughout the day, and maybe they go to the bathroom and they hit the vape in the bathroom, and then, like, they ask if they can vape in the car and stuff like that. Like, it's not the vaping that is the issue. It really isn't. It's like, this vaping could be an indicator of having an addictive personality. Is this something that I wanna pass on to my kids? Like, is this, you know what I mean? Like, there are deeper things that I consider that, like, the colloquial or whatever, the common red flags for me, those are not red flags in and of themselves, but they're just indicators for things that could or couldn't be
Mhm.
red flags.
Well, if let's use that vaping example.
Mhm.
If you saw somebody and they were vaping through a date, would you ask them?
Ask them, like, what?
Like, ask them about like, "Oh, do you love this?" Or like, would you find a way to like get to the root of what that's about?
I
Or
mean, it
would you just
depends.
take
If
the
I was looking for a lifelong partner, you know, if I was in that period of time in my life, then yeah, for sure. Like, I think communicating about everything that you see an issue with, for sure. But if it's something where it's like I'm just going on casual dates and I'm like meeting someone, getting to know them, maybe we become friends, I don't know, like, then I don't really think it's my business.
Let me ask you something, because you said you're not in the obviously like a state of mind right now
Yeah.
to be in a relationship, which I love, and that's very fair. Do you tell people that when you go
Yes.
out with them?
Yes. I tell them that, like, immediately.
And do you think a dude's behavior changes with women in general when he is kind of like in a state of like, yeah, I'm ready to meet somebody
Yes.
that
Yeah, I would say so.
okay,
Yeah,
good, because
I
that's what I
think
tell
if
people.
you're what'd you say?
Say good, because that's what I tell people.
Yeah, I would say for sure. Like, if you're going on casual dates, you are going to be a little bit more apathetic, with the person you're going on a date with rather than like, "Okay, this could be someone that I'm spending the rest of my life with. I better make a good first impression," you know? I mean, that's just I think it's quite obvious.
But do you think that somebody could change your mind, or do you think you would need to change your
Yes.
mind first about wanting to be in a relationship before your behavior changes?
So, obviously, this is me just basing this response off of my own intuition because I have not experienced this firsthand. Um, so I would say yes. I think everyone is ready. Realistically, when I say everyone, 99.9% of people are ready to find the person they're going to spend the rest of their life with. They just haven't found that person yet. Right. So I think some people, obviously, if you shift your mental space from like I will find my life from casual dating to I will find my life partner, you will. It's more likely that you'll get locked up in something long term. Yes, but also like if you are 100% no, you don't think you are, but you meet the perfect person, then yeah, I think that it's just naturally going to be the way things go. You will end up being with them.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video and check out our next one. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to this channel for more amazing dating, love, and relationship advice from me and so many expert guests. Follow us on socials. We're at Kinda Dating across the board. I'm Natasha Chandel, so you can find me too if you like. And join our newsletter on www.kindadating.com for lots of exclusives. See you soon.